Alright, what's going on, guys? Drew here from TechCubed, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make dialog boxes in Android. So what a dialog box is when someone clicks a button or just some other prompt, it's going to open up a smaller screen, fade the background, and then it's going to show options that you could click on. It could be a warning, it could be a list of options to click, and that's what we're going to be doing. So to start, I'm going to be using the same code as we've been using before, where we open up the screen, we click a button, it opens up a new screen and sends a string from a text box to the second screen and opens it up. So what we're going to do is when we click that button, it's going to open up a list of options, and then based on what we click, it's going to send that instead of what's in the text box. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to go to mainActivity.java. We don't have to do anything to the XML, the design. It's going to all stay the same. We could actually get rid of the text box because I don't think we'll be using it, but for now that's fine. So here's what we can do. We'll go into the onClick listener from the button, make some new lines where this intent is, and above it. And now what we're going to do, we're going to type AlertDialog and then .builder, and we could call whatever we like. We'll call it builder. It's going to equal a new AlertDialog.builder, and then there we're going to say whatever activity we are in. So we are in main activity dot this. Okay, the semicolon. And now the next thing we want to do, so we're going to be popping up a list of options. So we have to make those options. So what we could do is make an array. So if you're not familiar with an array, it's basically like a string that we used before, but several of them separated by commas. So it's going to be a string array. I'm going to call it list is equal to a new string array. And now all the options we want, we put in here in between quotes and commas. So let's say we can do fruit. We could do apple, and then orange, and grape, and so on. Those are 3 options for now. You could always add more, no big deal. Now next, we're going to add this list to our builder. So what we're going to do, we're going to say builder.setItems. It's this first one, first option. And now we'll say list to tell it that we want to use that. And now we just have to say that we want the dialog to show up. Dialog interface. Alright, there we go. Dialog interface at onClick listener. All this should pop up. Now in here, what's going to happen is all these options are going to show up. And what happens is when we click on one of them, it's going to run whatever we put in here. It's the same as kind of like the onClick listener for the button. So next, we can actually skip this for now. What we want to do is add a cancel button. So to do that, on a new line, we'll do builder.set. We could do a positive button, or we could do a negative button. A positive button is going to go on the right, negative will go on the left, and then there's a neutral one that goes in the middle. And you'll see what that looks like later. And here, whatever we want it to say, we'll put here. So it could be, so we could type close or cancel, whatever you'd like. And now, same as before, a new dialog.onClick listener. Alright. And a semicolon down here. Okay, and now, last 2 lines, AlertDialog, called dialog, equals the builder.create. So what's going to happen is, it's going to take our builder and make it a dialog. So now we can actually tell the dialog to go by saying dialog.show. Okay, so now it'll show up, and we can test this out, but nothing's going to happen when we click on anything. So when we hit close, it's just going to close the screen, and we don't actually have to put anything in. But when we send the text, we're going to have to do something different. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to say, when you click on one of them, it's going to start the intent. So if you go here and cut it with Control X, and then paste it right here. Okay, now all that's the same, the only difference is we're still using the text box.getText. So we're going to change that to be whatever is at, all the way to toString, delete it, and we're going to say list at which. Alright, so what I did here, and actually because this isn't final, okay, so make sure this is final because we're accessing it from a different method right here. So the reason I did list which is because we have our list, and the way to access items in an array, the way to access So we have our array called list, and the way to access items in an array is by putting these brackets and then a number in here. But we don't want to use 0 or 1 or 2 or any other index. We want to use which, because it's saying right here in this method on click, when they click an item, it's going to give us a number that they clicked. So apple 0, orange is 1, and grape is 2, and so on and so forth if you added more. So now that's going to work, and it's going to send it to the next screen like we did before. So we can actually run this and see what happens. Okay. So here's what we have. It's the same as before. The text box is still here, but we don't need to worry about that. Just hit open. And now here's our dialog. There's the close button. Just to test it out, we can hit close, and nothing happens, just like it was supposed to. You can open. Now let's hit Apple, and it should go to the next screen and say Apple. Awesome. We could still finish that again. So that's it for this. Just a quick note for dialogues. This is what we said, positive button on the right, but we have other options. We have a negative button that could go here, and a neutral button that goes here. You have a maximum of 3 buttons allowed. And then there's a couple other things we could do. For the list, we can make them checkboxes or radio buttons, which would look like, here's the radio button, here's the checkbox. So it's basically, if you want to see everything you could do, just go somewhere after you make the builder and type builder.set. And here's all the things you have. Items we use, positive button we use, adapter, that's going to make your own custom background, which I can link in the description below how to do that. There's a pretty good article in AndroidDeveloper.com that shows you how to do it. I can make a video later on. And then items again, you could do a message. So like, actually one that we could use is title. Here's neutral button on cancel listener. Oh, so on cancel listener would be when someone hits the side of the screen. So for instance, right here, it closes it, but we can make it do something else if we'd like. For instance, we don't want anything to happen. And so yeah, it's smart to just look through all these and see what you could do. That's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, as usual, just put it in the comments below, as well as any suggestions for future videos. Make sure to like this and subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.